The stars looked peaceful through the main window of the ship. Captain Jake Morrison sat in his command chair and watched them drift by. His ship was called the Valiant. It was one of the newest ships that Earth had built. The ship was large and powerful. Jake had been its captain for 6 months now. The bridge was quiet. The crew worked at their stations. Everything seemed normal. This was their first long trip away from Earth. They were exploring the space beyond their home system. So far, nothing exciting had happened. Amy Torres sat at the communications desk. She was young but very good at her job. She had been working with Jake for 3 years. Suddenly, she looked up from her screen. Her face showed surprise. "Captain, I am getting a strange signal," Amy said. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls. "It is a distress call, but it is not from any human ship." Jake sat up straight in his chair. This was new. Humans had met aliens 15 years ago. A group called the Confederation had come to Earth. They had welcomed humans to join them. But in all that time, no alien had ever sent a distress call directly to a human ship. "Can you read the message?" Jake asked. Amy worked quietly for a few minutes. Then her eyes went wide. "Captain, it is from a ship called the Dawn Seeker. They are Kalahari. The message says they are being attacked by pirates. They have many people hurt. Their shields are failing." Ben Harper was the second in command. He spoke from his station. "The Kalahari are important in the Confederation. They were one of the first species to form it. If we do not help them, Earth will look bad." Jake knew Ben was right. The Kalahari had always been polite to humans. But like most aliens, they kept their distance. Humans came from Earth. The Confederation had studied Earth and given it a special name. They called it a Class 12 death world. Earth was dangerous. The air had too much oxygen for most aliens. The gravity was too strong. The sun gave off radiation that could kill many species. The plants and animals were deadly. Most aliens thought humans were dangerous because they came from such a harsh world. But none of that mattered now. Someone needed help. That was all Jake cared about. "How far away are they?" Jake asked. 42 light years, Amy answered. "If we go as fast as we can reach them in 6 hours." Jake did not need to think long. "Change our course. Go as fast as possible. Everyone prepare for battle. Ben, find me all the information we have about Kalahari ships. Also find out what we know about pirates in that area." The crew moved quickly. They had trained for this. Within minutes, the Valiant turned toward its new target. The engines roared to life. The ship jumped into faster-than-light travel. Jake felt the familiar feeling of command settle over him. They were going into danger. But that was why Earth had built ships like the Valiant. Dr. Lisa Grant called from the medical bay. "Captain, I heard about the situation. I am getting ready for wounded people. Do we know what kind of injuries the Kalahari might have? We are going to help a Kalahari science ship. They were attacked by pirates. There are injuries. Make sure you have their medical information ready," Jake told her. "I understand, Captain," Lisa replied. The hours passed slowly. The crew prepared for what was coming. Sergeant Peter Hayes got his soldiers ready. If they had to board another ship, his team would do it. Engineer Kate Sullivan checked all the weapons. She made sure the shields were working perfectly. Everyone knew this was important. Jake sat in his chair and thought about what might happen. Humans had a reputation in the galaxy. Most aliens saw them as warriors, people from a violent world who knew how to fight. But humans had never wanted to be seen that way. They just wanted to be part of the galactic community. Still, Jake knew the truth. Earth had made humans tough. Growing up on a death world meant learning to survive. It meant being strong and fast. It meant knowing how to protect yourself and others. These traits had helped humans reach the stars. "Captain, we are approaching the target area," Amy said. "We will arrive in 10 minutes. Good. Tell everyone to be ready. When we drop out of faster-than-light travel, I want to know exactly what we are facing," Jake ordered. Ben looked at Jake. "Do you think the pirates will still be there?" "I hope so," Jake said quietly. "If they are, we will stop them. If they are not, we will help the Kalahari and make sure they get home safely." The final minutes felt very long. The crew was silent. Each person focused on their job. Jake could feel the tension on the bridge. But it was good tension. His crew was ready. 5 minutes, Amy announced. Jake took a deep breath. He pressed a button on his chair. His voice went to every part of the ship. "Attention, all crew. This is the captain. In a few minutes, we will arrive at the location of a distress call. We are going to help a Kelhari ship that is under attack. We may have to fight. Remember your training. Stay calm, work together. We are humans. We know how to handle difficult situations. The Valiant is ready. Are you ready? Throughout the ship, crew members called back their agreement. They were ready. 1 minute, Amy said. Jake gripped the arms of his chair. Here we go. All weapons ready. Shields at maximum. Prepare to drop out of faster-than-light travel. The ship shuddered slightly. The stars on the main window changed from streaks back to points of light. The Valiant had arrived. What they saw made everyone on the bridge go silent. 3 pirate ships surrounded a damaged Kelhari vessel. The Kelhari ship was leaking air from several holes. Its shields flickered weakly. The pirates were firing weapons at it. Get me a communication channel to those pirate ships, Jake said. His voice was calm but hard. Let us see if they are smart enough to leave. Amy worked her controls. Channel open, Captain. Jake spoke clearly. Pirate vessels, this is Captain Jake Morrison of the United Earth ship Valiant. Stop your attack immediately. Leave this area now. If you do not, we will make you leave. There was a pause. Then laughter came through the speakers. A rough voice answered. 1 human ship? You think you can make us do anything? Go away, human. This does not concern you. Jake smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. Wrong answer. You had your chance. He looked at his crew. They looked back at him with determination. They knew what was about to happen. All weapons, fire when ready. Show them what a Deathworlder can do. The Valiant moved forward with incredible speed. The force pushed everyone back in their seats. Most alien species could not survive such movement. But humans were different. Their bodies could handle much more force than other beings in the galaxy. The first pirate ship fired its weapons. Green bolts of plasma flew toward the Valiant. But the human ship was too fast. It twisted and turned with amazing grace. The plasma shots missed completely. Return fire, Jake commanded. The Valiant's guns roared. Unlike most alien weapons that used energy, human ships used railguns. These weapons fired solid metal projectiles at incredible speeds. The pirates had shields designed to stop energy weapons. But the shields could not stop solid metal. The metal rounds smashed into the pirate ship. They tore through the hull like paper. Explosions rippled across the pirate vessel. Direct hit on their engines, Ben reported. They are damaged badly. Air is leaking from their ship. The other 2 pirate ships stopped attacking the Kelhari vessel. They turned toward the Valiant. They had not expected such a strong response. They are firing missiles at us, Amy called out. I count 36 missiles. Activate point defense weapons, Jake ordered calmly. Small guns all over the Valiant came to life. They fired thousands of tiny projectiles. The projectiles created a wall of metal around the ship. The missiles flew into this wall and exploded. Bright flashes lit up space. Only a few missiles got through. These hit the Valiant's shields and exploded harmlessly. The second pirate ship is coming right at us, Ben said. I think they want to ram us. Jake smiled coldly. Let them try. Kate, put all power to the front shields. Amy, target their bridge. The pirate ship came faster and faster. At the last second, the Valiant rolled. It showed its heavily armored top to the pirate. At the same time, all of its guns fired at once. The shots hit the pirate ship right where the captain would be. The pirate ship's front section exploded. The ship spun out of control. It tumbled past the Valiant without hitting it. Small pods shot out from the damaged ship. The surviving pirates were escaping. The third ship is running away, Amy announced. They are jumping to faster-than-light travel. Jake nodded. Let them go. They can tell others what happens when you attack innocent people. Open a channel to the Kelhari ship. The main screen changed. It showed the inside of the Kelhari ship. A tall, thin alien appeared. His skin was light blue. His eyes were very large. He looked shocked. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the United Earth ship Valiant. Do you need help? The Kelhari captain stared for a moment. Then he spoke. I am Captain Varix of the Dawnseeker. We sent a distress call to anyone who might hear. But we never expected such a fast response. And your fighting ability is amazing. We have never seen anything like it. We came as soon as we got your message, Jake replied. Do you have injured crew? Our medical doctor is ready to help. Varix seemed to recover from his shock. Yes, we have people who are hurt. Your help would be very welcome, but Captain Morrison, I must warn you, those pirates were not just criminals. They work for a powerful organization. That organization will not like that you interfered. Jake's face became serious. Then maybe someone needs to stand up to them. Get ready to receive our shuttle. We will help your injured people and fix your ship if we can. Ben organized the rescue mission. A shuttle left the Valiant and flew to the damaged Kelhari ship. Dr. Lisa Grant and her medical team were on the shuttle. So was Sergeant Peter Hayes with a security team. Inside the Kelhari ship, Lisa found 3 wounded crew members. She worked quickly and carefully. The Kelhari watched her with wide eyes. They seemed both afraid and fascinated by the humans. One young Kelhari engineer had a broken leg. Lisa scanned the injury and smiled gently. Do not worry. I can fix this. You will be fine in a few hours. She injected tiny medical robots into the Kelhari's body. These robots would help the bones heal quickly. The young alien stared at her in amazement. You use medical nanites? We have only read about such technology in science papers. We did not know anyone actually used them, the engineer said. Lisa smiled. On Earth, we had to develop good medical technology. Our world is dangerous. We get hurt a lot, so we learned how to heal quickly. Meanwhile, Captain Varix came to the Valiant. He wanted to meet Jake in person. He moved carefully in the ship's gravity. Even though the Valiant's gravity was set lower than Earth normal, it was still higher than what Varix was used to. Captain Morrison, I must thank you again, Varix said. Your ship arrived very fast, and your weapons are much more powerful than our databases said they would be. Jake extended his hand. Varix looked at the hand for a moment. Then he carefully grasped it. His 3 fingers wrapped around Jake's hand. We are glad we could help, Jake said. You mentioned the pirates work for someone. Can you tell me more about that? Varix looked worried. They work for a criminal group called the Vortan Collective. For 3 years, this group has been attacking science ships. They steal research and technology. The Confederation knows about them, but they operate in areas where no one has clear authority. Why do they target science ships? Ben asked. Because science ships carry valuable data and equipment, but we have no weapons to defend ourselves. The Vortan Collective knows this. They know we cannot fight back. Varix paused. He looked sad. Most species in the Confederation come from peaceful worlds. We are not warriors. We do not have the fighting spirit that your people have. Jake frowned. That does not make you weak. It makes you civilized. Perhaps, Varix said quietly. But being civilized does not protect us from criminals. Your people are different, Captain Morrison. You come from a harsh world. It has made you strong and dangerous. When other species look at humans, they see something from their past. Something from before their worlds became safe. Before Jake could answer, Amy spoke urgently. Captain, I am detecting new ships. 6 ships are dropping out of faster-than-light travel. They are much bigger than the pirates we just fought. The tactical screen showed 6 large warships. They had the symbols of the Vortan Collective on them. They were arranging themselves to attack. Varix's face went pale. This is very bad. Those are Vortan warships. They must have followed our distress signal. Captain Morrison, you should leave now. Your ship is strong, but you cannot fight 6 heavy warships. Jake looked at his crew. Everyone was already preparing for battle. They moved with confidence and skill. Captain, Lisa's voice came through the communication system. My patients are not stable enough to move yet. If we try to transport them now, they will die. Jake made his decision instantly. Then we stay and fight. Amy, open a channel to those ships. Varix stared at him. You will be destroyed. This is madness. Jake looked at the Kelhari captain with a calm smile. Captain Varix, let me tell you something about humans. We do not like bullies, and we do not run from a fight when innocent lives are at stake. Watch and learn. The communication channel opened. A harsh voice filled the bridge of the Valiant. It was the voice of the Vortan commander. Human ship, this is Commander Targeth of the Vortan Collective. You have interfered with our business. Surrender now or we will destroy you. Jake leaned back in his command chair. He looked calm. Commander Targeth, this is Captain Jake Morrison. You have 30 seconds to leave. If you do not, I will show you why you should never threaten a Deathworlder. Targeth laughed. The sound was unpleasant. You are funny, human. 1 ship against 6? Your reputation as warriors must be greatly exaggerated. Jake smiled. Ben, activate Echo Protocol. Ben's fingers moved quickly across his controls. Echo Protocol is active, Captain. All ships are responding. The space around the Valiant seemed to ripple. Then 4 more human ships appeared. They had been hidden in faster-than-light travel. Now they dropped into normal space. The ships were called Defiant, Relentless, Guardian, and Sentinel. They quickly formed a battle formation. Varric stared at the tactical screen. He could not believe what he was seeing. You called for backup? When did you do that? 6 hours ago when we first received your distress call, Jake explained. It is standard human practice. When you might face danger, you bring backup. These ships have been following us. They were waiting for our signal. Target's voice came back. He sounded less confident now. 5 ships against 6 is still not good odds for you, human. Oh, we are not finished yet, Jake replied. Kate, show them our secret weapon. Kate Sullivan smiled widely. With pleasure, Captain. Launching hunter-killer drones now. From each human ship, dozens of small drones shot out into space. The drones were fast and hard to hit. Each one carried a powerful explosive charge. They were controlled by advanced computer systems. Commander Targeth, Jake said. His voice was hard now. Let me explain something. Humans did not survive on Earth by fighting fair. We survived by being smarter and tougher than anything that tried to kill us. I am giving you one last chance. Leave now. If you fight us, you will regret it. There was silence for a long moment. Then the Vortan ships began to move. But they were not leaving. They were getting into attack positions. They are charging their weapons, Amy reported. They are launching missiles. All ships begin evasive maneuvers. Drones, you are free to attack. Show them what Earth can do, Jake commanded. What happened next was beautiful in a deadly way. The 5 human ships moved together perfectly. They twisted and turned with amazing speed. The Vortan missiles tried to track them but could not keep up. The few missiles that got close were destroyed by defensive weapons. The small drones swarmed around the Vortan ships like angry insects. The Vortan crews had to focus their defensive weapons on the drones. This meant they could not shoot at the human ships as effectively. Then the human ships opened fire. Their railguns shot solid projectiles at tremendous speeds. The Vortan shields were designed to stop energy weapons. They were not as effective against solid metal traveling so fast. The projectiles hammered into the shields, weakening them with each hit. At the same time, the human ships launched their own missiles. These missiles were smart. They watched for weak points in the enemy shields. When they found a weakness, they struck there. The drones were causing chaos. They flew in close to the Vortan ships. Some attached themselves to the hulls. Others waited for the right moment. Then they exploded. Each explosion was timed perfectly to cause maximum damage. The first Vortan ship has lost its shields, Ben reported. The Guardian is moving in to finish it. Second Vortan ship is leaking atmosphere, Amy added. They are trying to retreat. Varric watched the battle with his mouth open. I have never seen anything like this. Your coordination is perfect. Your tactics are so aggressive. The Confederation does not fight like this. The Confederation comes from peaceful worlds, Jake said. His eyes never left the tactical display. Earth taught us something different. On our planet, everything tries to kill you. The weather can kill you. The animals can kill you. Even tiny organisms can kill you. We learned to fight because fighting was the only way to survive. Another Vortan ship broke away from the formation. Its engines were damaged and smoking. The other 3 Vortan ships tried to focus their fire on the Valiant. They probably thought that destroying the flagship would break human morale. But the other human ships immediately moved to protect the Valiant. They created overlapping fields of fire. Any Vortan ship that tried to attack the Valiant had to face attacks from multiple directions. It was a brilliant defensive strategy. Commander Targeth, Jake transmitted again. You can still surrender. Your people do not need to die today. Targeth's response was angry and defiant. The Vortan Collective never surrenders to inferior species. Jake's expression became hard. You made your choice. All ships coordinate for Alpha Strike. On my mark, 3, 2, 1 mark. Every weapon on all 5 human ships fired at the same time. The coordinated attack was devastating. Hundreds of projectiles and dozens of missiles hit the Vortan ships all at once. The Vortan shields could not handle so much firepower coming from so many directions. The shields collapsed. The hulls of the Vortan ships began to tear apart. Explosions bloomed across their surfaces. Metal twisted and broke. Air rushed out into space. Within minutes, the battle was over. 3 Vortan ships were drifting in space, no longer capable of fighting. The other 3 were badly damaged. Their commanders were broadcasting surrender signals. Stop firing, Jake ordered. Sergeant Hayes, prepare your soldiers to board those ships. We will take the survivors prisoner. We also need to gather information about this Vortan collective. Barrick stood in silence. He seemed unable to speak. Finally, he turned to Jake. Captain Morrison, what you have done here today will be remembered throughout the galaxy. The Confederation has been trying to stop the Vortan collective for years. You defeated them in minutes. Jake stood up. He placed a hand on Varrix's shoulder in a gesture of friendship. Captain Varrix, humanity learned something important long ago. Sometimes to have peace, you must be willing to fight for it. Maybe the Confederation needs to remember that. Varrix looked at Jake with new respect. Perhaps you are right. We have been peaceful for so long that we forgot how to protect ourselves. Maybe that is why we need species like yours in the Confederation. Jake smiled. We did not join the Confederation to be your warriors. We joined because we believe in what the Confederation stands for. But if protecting those ideals means we have to fight sometimes, then we will fight. Over the next few hours, human soldiers boarded the damaged Vortan ships. They took the survivors into custody. They also gathered computer data and documents. This information would help them understand the Vortan collective better. Dr. Lisa finished treating the Kelhari wounded. They were all stable now. They could be safely transported back to their ship. The Kelhari crew members thanked Lisa and her team many times. They had never received such effective medical care. As the Valiant prepared to escort the Dawnseeker to safety, Jake knew that something important had changed. Humans had proven themselves as more than just curiosities from a death world. They had shown that they could be trusted allies and formidable protectors. The news of this battle would spread quickly through the galaxy, and the Vortan collective would think twice before attacking anyone under human protection. News of the battle spread across the galaxy faster than anyone expected. Within days, every member of the Confederation knew what had happened. A single human ship had responded to a Kelhari distress call. Then 5 human ships had defeated 6 Vortan warships in minutes. The reaction was mixed. Some species were grateful. They had lost ships and crew to the Vortan collective. They were happy someone had finally stood up to the criminals. Other species were worried. They feared that humans were too violent and dangerous. 3 weeks after the battle, Captain Jake Morrison received a message. The Confederation Council wanted him to come to their capital world. They wanted to discuss what had happened. Jake knew this meeting could be very important for Earth's future in the Confederation. The capital world was called Zentara Prime. It was beautiful. The sky was a soft purple color. The buildings were tall and elegant. Everything was clean and peaceful. Jake thought it looked like a paradise compared to Earth. The council chamber was enormous. Representatives from 200 different species sat in a huge circle. Each species had their own section with special accommodations for their needs. The chamber was designed so everyone could see and hear everyone else. Jake stood in the center of the circle. He wore his dress uniform. Commander Ben Harper and Dr. Lisa Grant stood with him. They were there to support him and answer questions if needed. The council members talked among themselves in many different languages. Their translation devices worked hard to convert everything into a language each being could understand. The noise was overwhelming at first. Finally, an elder Kelhari stood up. Her name was High Counselor Venna. Her skin had a silver tint that showed her age. She raised one hand. The chamber became quiet. Captain Morrison, you and your fleet destroyed 6 Vortan warships. You may have saved many science vessels from future attacks. But some council members are worried about how violent your methods were, Venna said. Jake took a deep breath. High Counselor, we responded to a distress call. We gave the Vortan ships many chances to leave peacefully. They chose to fight. We did what was necessary to protect innocent lives. A counselor who looked like a large insect spoke up. But your methods, Captain Morrison. The way humans fight is terrifying to most of us. You are faster and stronger. You show no hesitation. Many species remember ancient predators from their worlds when they see humans fight. Jake thought carefully before answering. Then perhaps the galaxy needs some predators on its side. The Vortan Collective has been attacking peaceful ships for years. They did it because they knew the Confederation would not fight back effectively. Now they know differently. Ben stepped forward. If I may speak, counselors. We questioned the Vortan prisoners. They told us that the Collective has been operating freely because they believed the Confederation was weak. They saw your peace as something they could exploit. Another counselor asked, Are you saying we should become more violent? No, Jake said firmly. I am saying you should be ready to defend yourselves. Peace is worth fighting for, counselors. My crew and I did not respond to that distress call because we love violence. We responded because we believe civilized beings should protect each other. Dr. Lisa spoke for the first time. I have studied Confederation medical records. Your species are amazing scientists. Your medical knowledge is impressive. But you have little experience with serious trauma care. That is because your worlds are so peaceful. Earth taught us to heal serious injuries because we got hurt often. High Counselor Venna studied the three humans carefully. Captain Morrison, Dr. Grant, Commander Harper, your words are difficult to hear. But perhaps they are also necessary. The Confederation was built on peace and cooperation, but we have become too comfortable. We thought our unity alone would protect us. Venna stood up. The entire chamber became completely silent. This council has debated for 3 weeks about how to respond to your actions. Some wanted to punish you for being too violent. Others wanted to thank you for saving Kalhari lives. I believe both responses are wrong. The High Counselor turned to address everyone. Humanity comes from what we call a death world. They evolved in conditions that would kill most of us quickly. They developed weapons and fighting skills because their world demanded it. But they also developed something else. They developed a sense of justice and a desire to protect the weak. Venna looked directly at Jake. Captain Morrison, the Confederation Council officially thanks you and your crew. You saved Kalhari lives at risk to yourselves. Furthermore, we want to propose something new. We want to create a joint defense force. It would combine Confederation resources with human military knowledge. Would Earth be interested? Jake felt his heart beat faster. This was more than he had hoped for. High Counselor, I would need to speak with Earth's government first, but I believe they would be very interested. Humanity has always believed that civilization is worth protecting. Then it is decided, Venna declared. Today marks a new chapter for the Confederation. We will no longer allow our peace to be seen as weakness. We will do this with humanity as our partners. The council chamber erupted with noise. Many voices spoke at once. Some sounded happy, others sounded concerned. But the decision had been made. It could not be changed now. After the council meeting, Jake and his crew prepared to return to their ship. Captain Varix came to see them off. Captain Morrison, thank you again. Not just for saving my crew, but for showing the Confederation something we had forgotten. Sometimes the only way to keep peace is to be willing to fight for it. Jake shook Varix's hand warmly. Captain Varix, Earth did not join the Confederation to change it. We joined because we believed in its ideals. We just reminded everyone that ideals need to be defended. As they walked to their shuttle, Sergeant Peter Hayes looked back at the Grand Council building. Captain, do you think they will really change? Will they build real defenses? Jake smiled. Maybe not immediately, but we have started something. The Confederation will learn that peace and strength are not opposites. They work together. Kate Sullivan grinned. And in the meantime, we get to teach the galaxy how Deathworlders do things. Exactly, Jake agreed. But more than that, we will show them something important. Humanity did not survive Earth by becoming monsters. We survived by protecting each other. That is the real lesson we have to teach. The shuttle lifted off from Zentara Prime. It carried the crew back to the Valiant. Behind them, the Confederation Council continued their discussions. Ahead of them, the stars waited with new challenges and opportunities. Back on the Valiant, Amy Torres was monitoring communications. Suddenly, she received a priority message from Earth. She called Jake to the bridge immediately. Captain, Earth has responded to the Confederation's proposal. They are sending Admiral Helen Carter to negotiate the details. She will arrive in 2 weeks. Earth Command also has new orders for us. Jake read the orders on his screen. His eyes widened slightly. They want us to begin patrol operations in sectors where the Vorton Collective has been active. We are to protect Confederation ships and gather more intelligence about the Collective's operations. Ben smiled. Looks like we are officially becoming the Confederation's protectors. More like their big brothers, Kate added. The tough siblings who make sure the bullies leave everyone else alone. Jake stood up and addressed his crew. Everyone, we have new orders. We are going to patrol the border regions. Our mission is to protect Confederation ships and stop the Vorton Collective. This will not be easy, but I know this crew can handle it. We showed the galaxy what Deathworlders can do. Now we show them what Deathworlders stand for. The crew responded with enthusiasm. They were ready for whatever came next. They had proven themselves in battle. Now they would prove themselves as protectors and allies. As the Valiant set course for its new patrol zone, Jake felt a sense of purpose. Humanity had answered an alien distress call. In doing so, they had changed their relationship with the entire Confederation. The Deathworlders had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. 2 months had passed since the battle at the Vega Rift. The Valiant and its sister ships had been patrolling the border regions constantly. They had encountered 3 more Vortan collective attacks. Each time, the human ships had arrived quickly and driven the pirates away. Word was spreading fast through the criminal underworld. Do not attack ships when humans are nearby. But the Vortan collective was not giving up. They were angry about their losses. Their leaders wanted revenge, and they were planning something big. Jake was in his ready room reading reports when Amy called him urgently. "Captain, please come to the bridge immediately." "We have a situation." Jake arrived on the bridge within seconds. "What is it?" Amy looked worried. "Captain, I am picking up multiple distress calls. Not just 1 or 2. 15 different ships are under attack in this sector, all at the same time." Ben studied the tactical display. "This is coordinated. The Vortan Collective is launching attacks all across the region. They are trying to overwhelm us. We cannot respond to all of these calls." Jake felt his jaw tighten. The Collective was being smart. They knew the human fleet could not be everywhere at once. By attacking multiple targets, they guaranteed some attacks would succeed. "How many human ships do we have in this sector?" Jake asked. 5, including us, Ben replied. "But 15 attacks means we can only help about 1/3 of the ships in trouble." Jake made a decision. "Get me Admiral Carter on priority channel, and contact all the other human ships in this sector. Tell them to prepare for coordinated response." Admiral Helen Carter appeared on the communication screen. She was an older woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She had arrived 2 weeks ago to help establish the Joint Defense Force with the Confederation. "Captain Morrison, I see the situation. The Collective is testing us. They want to prove we cannot protect everyone," the Admiral said. "Yes, Admiral. But I have an idea. What if we do not try to respond to every attack individually? What if we find their main base and hit them there instead?" Jake suggested. Carter smiled slightly. "You want to take the fight to them, I like it. But do we know where their base is?" "Actually, Admiral, we might," Ben said. "We have been analyzing the data from the Vortan ships we captured. There are references to a station in the Krell Nebula. It could be their headquarters." "The Krell Nebula is in neutral space," Carter said. "If we attack there, we could be violating several treaties." "With respect, Admiral, they attacked Confederation members." "That gives us the right to pursue them," Jake argued. "Besides, if we destroy their base, these coordinated attacks will stop. We will save more lives in the long run." Carter thought for a moment. Then she nodded. "All right, Captain. I will take responsibility for this decision. Gather your fleet. Go to the Krell Nebula. Find that base and eliminate it. But be careful. If this is their headquarters, they will defend it strongly." "Understood, Admiral." Valiant out, Jake turned to his crew. "Amy, contact the Defiant, Relentless, Guardian, and Sentinel. Tell them to rendezvous at coordinates near the Krell Nebula. Ben, I want a full tactical analysis of that region. Kate, make sure all our weapons are at maximum capacity. Lisa, prepare for possible casualties. This could be our biggest fight yet." The crew worked with focused intensity. Within an hour, the Valiant was moving toward the Krell Nebula at maximum speed. The other 4 human ships were converging from different directions. The Krell Nebula was beautiful but dangerous. It was filled with ionized gas that glowed in shades of blue and purple. The gas interfered with sensors and communications. It was the perfect place to hide a secret base. "We are entering the nebula," Amy reported. "Sensors are having difficulty. We will need to search carefully." For 2 hours, the 5 human ships carefully explored the nebula. They worked in a coordinated search pattern. Then the Guardian found something. "Captain Morrison, this is Captain Ryan Scott of the Guardian. We have located a large structure deep in the nebula. It matches the description from the captured data. Multiple ships are docked there. It looks like their main base." Jake felt a surge of satisfaction. "All ships converge on the Guardian's position. Prepare for battle. This ends today." The 5 human ships moved through the glowing gas clouds. Soon they could all see the station. It was massive. Dozens of ships were docked to it. Some were military vessels. Others looked like modified cargo ships. All bore the marks of the Vortan Collective. Captain, they are detecting us, Amy said. The station is raising its shields. Ships are launching. Jake watched as enemy ships poured out of the station. He counted quickly. At least 20 ships. This would be their hardest fight yet. All ships. Attack formation beta. Focus fire on the station's shield generators. Once the shields are down, we target their command center. Remember your training. We are outnumbered but not outmatched. Show them what Deathworlders can do. The human fleet moved forward as one unit. The Vortan ships tried to intercept them, but the human vessels were too fast and too coordinated. They wove through the enemy formation, their weapons firing with deadly accuracy. The battle was intense. Explosions lit up the nebula's gas clouds in brilliant colors. Human railguns hammered at the station's shields. Missiles streaked through space. The defensive systems worked overtime to stop incoming fire. Peter Hayes and his Marines prepared for boarding operations. If they could take the station's command center, they could end this quickly. Station shields are at 50%, Ben reported. They are holding better than expected. Launch all hunter-killer drones, Jake ordered. Target the shield generators specifically. Hundreds of small drones shot out from the human ships. They swarmed toward the station like a cloud of metal insects. The Vortan defenders tried to shoot them down, but there were too many. The drones attached to the shield generators and exploded. Station shields are failing, Amy announced. All ships, Alpha strike on the command center. Now, Jake commanded. Every weapon on 5 human warships fired at the same point. The coordinated barrage was devastating. The station's command section exploded in a massive fireball. Secondary explosions rippled across the structure. The station is sending a surrender signal, Amy said. The remaining Vortan ships are standing down. Jake took a deep breath. Cease fire. Sergeant Hayes, board the station. Secure any survivors and gather all the intelligence you can find. Ben, coordinate with the other ships to take the Vortan vessels into custody. Over the next few hours, human soldiers secured the station. They found extensive records of the collective's operations. They also rescued several alien prisoners who had been held captive. Among them were crew members from ships that had been attacked weeks ago. When Admiral Carter received the report, she contacted Jake personally. Captain Morrison, you have done something remarkable. You have effectively destroyed the Vortan Collective's ability to operate in this region. The Confederation owes humanity a great debt. We only did what was necessary, Admiral, Jake replied. The Collective was threatening innocent lives. We could not let that continue. Even so, Captain, you have proven that the Joint Defense Force was the right decision. Humanity will be the shield that protects the Confederation, and the galaxy is safer because of it. 6 months had passed since the destruction of the Vortan Collective's main base. The galaxy had changed in remarkable ways. The Joint Defense Force was now fully operational. Human ships patrolled alongside vessels from dozens of Confederation species. Crime in the border regions had dropped dramatically. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the Valiant, but he was not alone. Standing beside him was a young Kelhari officer named Oren. He was learning human military tactics as part of a new exchange program. Several other Confederation officers were serving on human ships. Similarly, human officers were learning about alien technologies and cultures. Captain, I still do not understand how human ships move so quickly, Oren said. He was studying the tactical display with intense interest. Our ships are faster in straight-line speed, but your ships can change direction much faster. Jake smiled. It is because of Earth's gravity. Our ships are designed for crews that can handle much higher forces, so our maneuvering systems can push harder. For us, it is normal. For most other species, it would be dangerous. Oren nodded thoughtfully. I am beginning to understand. Everything about human military doctrine comes from surviving your death world. Your weapons, your tactics, even your medical technology. It all exists because Earth forced you to adapt. Exactly, Ben said from his station. But we are also learning from you. Your sensor technology is better than ours. Your faster-than-light drives are more efficient. By working together, we are becoming stronger. Amy looked up from her communications console. Captain, we are receiving a priority message from the Confederation Council. They want to speak with you directly. Jake straightened his uniform. Put them through. High Counselor Venna appeared on the screen. She looked pleased. Captain Morrison, I have good news. The Confederation Council has voted unanimously. We are officially inviting Earth to become a founding member of the Confederation Security Council. This is the highest honor we can give. Only species that have proven their dedication to protecting all members receive this honor. Jake felt surprised and honored. High Counselor, this is unexpected. Humans have only been part of the Confederation for 15 years. Time is not the only measure of value, Captain. In 6 months, humanity has done what the Confederation could not do in years. You have made the space lane safe. You have shown us that peace requires both diplomacy and strength. Most importantly, you have taught us that being civilized does not mean being helpless. Venna paused, then continued. There is more news. We have received requests from 17 different species. They want to establish joint training programs with human military forces. They want to learn how to better protect themselves. Jake smiled. We would be happy to help, but we want to be clear about something. We do not want to make the Confederation more violent. We want to make it more capable of defending itself. We understand, Captain. That is exactly what we want as well. The Confederation has learned an important lesson. Peace is not the absence of conflict. Peace is the result of being strong enough that others choose not to start conflicts with you. After the communication ended, the bridge crew cheered. This was a historic moment. Earth had gone from being a curiosity from a dangerous world to being a respected leader in galactic security. Captain, we are being hailed, Amy said. It is Captain Varix from the Dawn Seeker. Jake was happy to see his friend. Captain Varix, it is good to hear from you. How is your ship? Fully repaired and back in service thanks to you, Varix replied. I heard about the Security Council decision. Congratulations. But that is not why I am calling. I wanted to tell you something. My crew and I were discussing what happened 6 months ago. We realized something important. What is that? Jake asked. When we sent that distress call, we did not expect anyone to respond. The Confederation had become accustomed to hearing about attacks after they happened. We investigated crimes but did not prevent them. Then you arrived. You proved that someone cared enough to risk their lives for strangers. That simple act of responding to a distress call changed everything. Jake felt touched by Varix's words. We just did what we thought was right. Someone needed help. We could provide that help. The decision was simple. That is exactly my point, Captain. For humans, the decision was simple. For the rest of the Confederation, we had become paralyzed by complexity. We worried about jurisdiction and protocols and political implications. While we worried, people died. Humanity reminded us of something fundamental. When someone is in danger, you help them. Everything else is secondary. After talking with Varix, Jake gathered his senior officers in the briefing room. Dr. Lisa Grant, Commander Ben Harper, Engineer Kate Sullivan, and Sergeant Peter Hayes all attended. I wanted to talk about where we go from here, Jake began. Earth will be part of the Security Council. More human ships will be joining the Joint Defense Force. Our role in the Confederation is changing, but I want to make sure we stay true to who we are. Lisa spoke first. We need to remember that we are not just warriors. We are also healers, scientists, and explorers. Yes, we can fight, but that is not all we are. I agree, Kate added. We have amazing weapons technology, but we also have amazing environmental technology because Earth is so harsh. We can help other species adapt to difficult conditions. We can share that knowledge. Peter nodded. My soldiers are trained to fight, but they are also trained to rescue, to provide aid, to rebuild. War is not our purpose. Protection is our purpose. Ben smiled. Captain, I think what everyone is saying is this. We answered a distress call because that is who humans are. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. We help those in need. The fact that we are good at fighting is just a tool. It is not our identity. Jake felt proud of his crew. You are absolutely right. That is the message we need to send to the galaxy. Humanity is not here to be the Confederation's weapon. We are here to be its shield, and shields protect. They do not attack. Over the following weeks, the Valiant continued its patrol duties. But now they did more than just respond to threats. They helped repair damaged ships. They provided medical aid to remote colonies. They assisted with scientific research in dangerous regions. They were showing the galaxy the full range of human capabilities. One day, Amy received another distress call. It was from a small colony on the edge of Confederation space. They were not under attack. Instead, they were facing a natural disaster. A volcanic eruption was threatening their main settlement. "Captain, should we respond?" Amy asked. "We are not the closest ship, and this is not a military situation." Jake did not hesitate. "Of course we respond. Set course immediately. Maximum speed. Someone needs help. That is all that matters." When the Valiant arrived at the colony, they found thousands of frightened aliens trying to evacuate. The humans worked tirelessly. They used their ship's shields to protect buildings. They helped rescue people trapped by lava flows. Dr. Lisa and her team treated burn victims. Engineers like Kate helped reinforce structures against the heat and pressure. The colony's leader was a small, bird-like alien named Chira. After the crisis was over, she came to thank Jake personally. Tears ran down her feathered face. "Captain Morrison, you saved my people. We sent a distress call not expecting anyone to come. We are a small colony. We are not important. But you came anyway. You risked your lives for us." "Why?" Jake knelt down so he was at eye level with the small alien. "Chira, on Earth we have a saying. No one gets left behind. It does not matter if you are important or powerful. It does not matter if you can repay us. You needed help. That is all we needed to know." Chira hugged Jake tightly. "The Confederation is fortunate to have humans. You are not just strong, you are kind. That combination is rare in the galaxy." As the Valiant left the colony and returned to its patrol route, Jake thought about everything that had happened. 6 months ago, they had answered a simple distress call. That one decision had changed the course of history for both humanity and the Confederation. Earth had proven that Deathworlders could be more than just warriors. They could be protectors, healers, and friends. The harsh environment of Earth had made humans strong, but it had also made them compassionate. Because when you know what it is like to struggle to survive, you understand the value of helping others survive. The galaxy would never again see humans as dangerous curiosities from a savage world. Instead, they would see them as guardians, as people who answered the call when others needed help, as beings who proved that strength and kindness were not opposites but partners. And whenever a distress signal went out in the vast darkness of space, there would always be a response. The Deathworlders would come, not to conquer or to dominate, but to protect and to save, because that was who humans were. That was what Earth had taught them, and that was the gift they gave to the galaxy. Jake looked at the stars through the main window. Somewhere out there, someone might need help, and when they called, humanity would answer, always.